Okay, so let's see. Hopefully this time we're finally gonna be getting a full game. Nothing ensured, but yeah, well, who knows. Random god for matreiuss, aka Bube, is gonna be getting Painted Desert. Hopefully they're gonna be playing in full. What's exactly with my game? Why is it not... Huh? No, better. For some reason I was having the start... Or the whole... How the hell do I call it right about now? The thing at the bottom in Windows, actually all over it. For some reason, but anyway, it seems to be fine right about now. And the gods are then kind of all over the place. I'm gonna be having... how's it together? 289. So purple is gonna be NyanRacingCat with Kronos. He's gonna be joined by Bubesike matreiuss with Oranos, and last place is gonna be HerroOP with Loki. So basically 3 Ukas are gonna be playing together. And against them it's going to be Metal with Zeus, Shelty with Odin, and Goldline Astra. So interesting setup. Gonna be definitely expecting some kind of aggressive gameplay by the bottom team with the Kronos in the pocket. That's a quite nice position for him. Exactly all around. With HerroOP and Loki on the right flank, and on the left flank it's going to be the Oranos with matreiuss. He's having quite a nice TC in there, it's going to be certainly helpful. And like basically allowing him to better control the map. I mean, like his allies are having basically straight back TCs, which are nice as well, but yeah, well, they're not really giving him all that much of map control. And I'm thinking if he's gonna be able to keep this alive, then it will be protecting the trade route quite easily and quite nicely on for the later game. Otherwise, his front TC is quite far away. It's gonna be potentially a bit of a problem in case he's gonna be having some issues with Metal, and Metal as Zeus is probably not gonna be all that bad. As far as just basically like controlling at least the middle of the map. You can see the TCs are quite close to each other. Though it's usually a problem mostly for Egyptians, and rather against Egyptians, because Egyptians can then basically spam mercenaries, and it's an issue. But otherwise, the gold mine is nicely positioned in here for... This is the front TC for HerroOP. So for HerroOP is gonna be getting extra TC, or extra gold once he gets the TC. As the town center on the right flank for gold line. So far we don't exactly see any kind of bonus. It almost seems like this is gonna be like the gold mine belonging to the town center altogether in there. Whereas behind his base he's still gonna be having some extras, both with his teammate. In the pocket there's going to be Shelty. So Shelty with his Odin, he has cast the Great Hunt a bit earlier on the zebras. He's having quite a lot of them, at least so far. Whereas, oh, that's a lot of gold mines though here. 1, 2, and 3 gold mines, plenty of gazelles times 2. That's gonna be for both players, for Metal and for Shelty. It's gonna be for Shelty. As on the right flank, there's gonna be extra herd for gold line. And for the opponent, so far we see some extra gold mines as well. So far, not really that kind of torrent of them, but it seems like there's gonna be a bit more of them, exactly in the darkness, as for example, the giraffe is hiding there as well. Let's check into the bases, as we are gonna be looking at HerroOP already dropping a temple to protect himself a bit on the gold mine in here, which is certainly something that he's gonna be having to do, as otherwise he's wide open in the front and it's gonna be fairly easy for his opponent to really attack him. But considering there is gold line with the RAP, it doesn't seem to be all that probable he's gonna be attacking the Castle Age. It seems to be rather impossible, to be honest. There's gonna be some first relic for better hero speed, good for a Loki. We do have a few of them. Maybe it doesn't have to be all that bad, for example, even for Bubes and matreiuss, AK, or rather as matreiuss with even some hero turmas, for example. Could be rather helpful in that, as there's another relic all the way to the top for better town center population slots. Pretty cool. Pretty cool relic. And there are gonna be maybe like 2 more somewhere across the map. There's one on the left. There's gonna be our ranged melee attack, as we are seeing the construction cast into the middle against Shelty, who is not really going to be losing that. That should be enough time still for the screening to be finishing with this. And yeah, he's definitely gonna be having enough time, as he didn't advance that quickly. Maybe actually right now it seems like that NyanRacingCat thought that his opponent could be advancing a bit earlier, but at the same time it also could be having a bit of a thought of basically blocking the extra Herser coming during the advance, because Herser takes about like 18 seconds, I think. So you can be making like 1-2 Hersers in the meantime, and that is gonna be right now stopped. So it doesn't have to be just because of the Valkyrie, just basically just making sure that he's not gonna be assaulted by anything at all, as the opponent is moving the temple into the forward position, spamming a few Prometheans, and that is right about now exactly important, because without Hersers, the Prometheans are suddenly gonna be becoming a whole lot better. So 2 little Prometheans, can they finish? Oh, 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 oh. That was damn close. Very well played. Very well played. That bolt was also needed. Because imagine if he didn't finish the temple. He wouldn't be getting the free unit. He wouldn't be getting even any kind of Herseers lined up exactly like that. And those Prometheans could have been a much bigger problem than otherwise. So good clutch play in there by Shelty and also his teammate Metal. Metal was the one bolting. Yes, that was Metal in there. He's just now advancing to the next age, but still, he's not out of the woods yet. No, not like there are all that many woods in here on this painted desert. And yeah, well, he's gonna be at least trying to force the opponent into relinquishing the gold. And let's gonna check how much of a problem it is. He's so far having 209, so it's not a game changer. And yet again, we have seen before, there are so many gold mines behind the bases, so potentially he can just screw up, or rather not entirely stay with this gold mine altogether. But problem is that there is already the spy, so therefore he's gonna be following and falling back somewhere to the other side of the map. It's still not going to be all, let's say, for him. HerroOP gonna be dropping a long house at this point so that he can be having some other army, and then only the Herseers. Ptach is already in, and Healing Spring is being cast, but otherwise there is not much of a vision, just Raven. So it doesn't seem like they are attempting some kind of forward shifting sense onto the enemy all that much, or maybe even taking them back, as it seems fairly standard to TC fast the heroic so far from Gold Lion. And well, maybe they don't have to be actually having both Pharaoh and the priest empowering the same thing. But anyway, that seems to be just basically a random coincidence. Maybe we're gonna be continuing with a few of the gazelles at the bottom, but looking how he's set up, he's gonna be switching into farming. Once he's gonna be finishing with the shadow of us. In the meantime, well, the centaurs are gonna be coming from the yellow player, as he's having 3 villages praying for all the favor in the world, and he's gonna be getting the extra population slots relic already. So he doesn't have so far Odysseus, it seems to me. Yep, doesn't. So it's gonna be already shockwave against the 2 centaurs at the start. One of them is gonna be already dying, so very well played. And it's gonna be quite important disruption of the radiant potential with the polemarch right now going on. And there's gonna be a bit of a scouting right next to the shoreline for Metal, so that he exactly sees where potentially there are the ways inside and outside. So this is not a correct way, but there is, for example, passage here and there, and there's gonna be another passage somewhere to the bottom, right through heart of the teal base. So far, Bubes, aka matreiuss, is having quite a nice army sent into the front as relic. We have seen that. No, we haven't. It's one for Archer Ballista, Ballista Pierce attack, as he's gonna be right now arriving into the enemy base, and he's gonna be apparently joined by NyanRacingCat, so it's gonna be a full-on double against Metal, trying to keep him inside his base, but he already does have the Watchtower upgrade, and therefore it's gonna be hard to raid him altogether. He's gonna be still having plenty of time, as he's having 2,200 gold. That's gonna be lasting him for a long time still. So on the right flank, there's gonna be a bit of a tactical walling coming in by HerroOP, but so far he's gonna be just basically waiting for what is going to come from the opponent. And considering all the gold mines here, even though this one is actually supposed to be kind of Shelty's partly, but he can be having, for example, this one in here, it's gonna be probably quite alright to just build Migdol defensively, maybe even straight inside the base. So it's not looking all that promising for HerroOP, and he probably should be trying to switch into Heroic Age sometime soon. So Ice in the Forest with Lone Wanderer, the important upgrades for the Norse units. So far coming for both sides in there, as the army is yet again getting stronger. Apparently one Valkyrie is gonna be dead already for Shelty, and this is gonna be kind of interesting to see what they decide to do, because so far they are reasonably passive, as Bubes is coming all the way to the back TC, just checking out and making sure that maybe Shelty isn't going for Echo. Shifting Suns are in. He's gonna be right about now, and he's slightly disrupting the TC in the front, and it was almost finished from Shelty, rather from HerroOP. So it was actually quite a clutch play. You can see these are the Herseers that went into a bit of a trap, so very well played, and they're gonna be definitely slaughtered by both Goldline and Shelty. So very well done at a pretty crucial timing, because that TC was almost finished, and unfortunately HerroOP didn't have any kind of reinforcements to finish with that, so therefore his gameplay is gonna be significantly screwed. Very well played by the top team. Still some kind of raiding going on at the back. These golds are gonna be really fairly safe because the TC is really quite close by. I'm gonna be waiting for the rain to be already cast. Maybe he's waiting for some upgrade. Not upgrade though. He should be having everything already. Yeah, he should be having everything already at this point. Second DC being made by Bubes at the very end, and that seems to be so far pretty much what's going on for the bottom team. For the top team, we're gonna be seeing Metal already taking the second, as he does have some kind of little army. Both centaurs and a few hippicons on top of that from one stable, and it seems to be, at least for the time being, enough, because he's kind of playing it defensively. Yeah, well, at least he has 2 centaurs all the way on the enemy side, and he's gonna be keeping a few units chasing after him so that they cannot be dangerous in the attack. On the right flank, there's gonna be still a bit of going on. Right next to the front DC of HerroOP, who is kind of still having some kind of hit points on it, so potentially could be finishing it if he's gonna be receiving enough help from Nyan and maybe even from himself. But yeah, well, the Raiden party is literally just waiting for either of the gold mines to be taken by Boobas or rather by Gold Lion, so that Boobas could be destroyed altogether. He's having another squad of villages all the way to the top that he could be raiding. Oh yeah, he's going exactly into the spot. He has seen it probably through the fog of war. There are some giraffes that don't have the lifespan anymore, and this is gonna be quite a problematic raiding. Gonna be killing like maybe 3 citizens altogether. This one seems to be also dead. Quite significantly, so very well played, and it's gonna be a nice play indeed. As in the meantime, Shelty is gonna be using the opportunity, since he's basically fully forcing the opponent into defensive, to take the front EC, and that's quite a correct decision, because really the opponents don't have much of a chance how to be aggressive at this point, as the front EC in the end is gonna be taken by Gold Lion. HerroOP not gonna be successful in the raiding and in stopping it altogether, or maybe even stealing it, whereas Shelty is kind of all over the place. But HerroOP, well, maybe he's gonna be finally finishing with this one, as he's sending all the army in there. But problem is that there is going to be a lot of it trailing back from Gold Lion as well, so therefore this battle doesn't have to be all that easily decided just yet. Especially since Shelty is still having at least a few units coming from the bottom side, and this is actually excellently played, because not only is he binding attention from the top on the TC, he's right now gonna be using the opportunity to even go for exactly the raid on the gold mine. You can see he's already killed the ox cart, so he's just gonna be running absolutely everywhere. And the forest fire by Shelty is actually fairly clever, because it might seem that this is not dangerous all that much, but it actually is, because there is a bit of a area of damage for the forest fire, so therefore he did do some decent hit point reductions all around. But in the meantime, the TC is yet again not finished, but he needs to be getting back with a few Heresiers before he's gonna be losing all of them, so that they can at least finish with the damned TC, because so far Shelty is spamming very well all the Ulfsags. They are already medium, with the Lone Wanderer in there, getting even the front TC so far for himself, as the Hypno for Boobas is in. But oh well, he'll be going for the gold. He's definitely going there. That's gonna be very hard right now for Shelty to escape, because that base is very far away. So it's also gonna be depending how quickly he's gonna be noticing, if ever, because so far he's not absolutely. Right now he's finally noticing, and he's gonna be caught in the middle. So very well done right about now by Teal, gonna be helping his teammates at least a bit, as HerroOP yet again for the second time is gonna be denied the town center. Almost finished, and yeah, well, right now this is gonna be also having a bit of a baggage with the gold miners in there. Not great for him at all, as he's wanting to advance into the next age himself. So far nothing else is being researched. So this is basically like recurring problem for HerroOP, as on the left side this is gonna be Boobas taking the front TC of his own. He seems like he's not gonna be all that much of a problem with that, with the palace and the gold mine next to it, and it's gonna be even easier, whereas the front TC for Metallo is in that case gonna be a bit harder. You can see quite nice. Whoa, would you look at that. He's basically seeing the whole map. That's how huge vision he's actually having. He's seen like literally the whole map in here, and therefore also the TC to the bottom, as the raiding party is gonna be switching onto another gold gathering spot. This time it's going to be for the green player, and he's gonna be followed through by about 5 centaurs, and therefore even those 2 heroes, actually 3 heroes really shouldn't be enough, combined with the army force of all the Hippicons moving forward to exactly get rid of the heroes. In the middle, there's gonna be potentially some kind of attempt of maybe Shelty to have some kind of control of the middle, but it doesn't seem all that likely, especially considering the fact that Nyan as the Kronos is finally switching into plenty of K state. So if he can be protecting him well, then it's gonna be definitely quite a good decision. Quite a good decision indeed in here. As well, some bear to the bottom. There's so far only economical buildings with armory coming forward, so maybe Nyan actually wants to be going into the next age. Purple is number 5. Yep, he's gonna be having exactly the resources very quickly. As otherwise, the upgrades are coming for HerroOP finally, for Gold Lion though as well. And it's kind of interesting, actually, Gold Lion went for a bit of a like slower boom, but it's probably gonna be paying off, because right now he can even steal the front TC from HerroOP. And while he's gonna be having Bragi with the flame weapons, so far, no, I was just going to say it doesn't have to be a victory condition for any kind of battle. But right about now, looking at the combination with the army of NyanRacingCat, I'm not all that certain. Oh well, careful about communication. Careful indeed. Okay, Murmillo don't seem to be upgraded, right? Oh, where is some kind of Murmillo? Yeah, he doesn't have upgrades. For the blue player, obviously doesn't have upgrades either. He's at least having the faster infantry time, so that's good. And the opponent doesn't have anything either, as this yet again Raiden on the gold mine. So far Bubes is actually quite a significant force to be reckoned with. As far as Raiden into the player, so far he has killed so many villages for pretty much all of them. So that's what's keeping him alive, and his whole team, I'm pretty much thinking, as that's giving the opportunity, for example, right about now, for a bit of Raiden himself into the middle for HerroOP, as he's gonna be denying the gold for Shelty. Shelty gonna be right now having an issue with that. No, kinda, yeah. Can see his economy basically is so-so. So he can be basically knowing all of those problems in here, as he's advancing exactly into Skadi. Hephaestus for Metal, though, is quite important, and help for HerroOP is not insignificant either. That could be quite an interesting combination in there coming forward, but against the Son of Osiris, that might be coming from Ra. No, well, the Nidhogg is not going to be exactly the strongest god power, obviously. But yeah, well, it's kind of like the best choice for Loki usually, because of all the upgrades into the mythical units, and especially those 5 giants could be reasonably helpful, as even a few setters may be making a difference, or the appearance as well, as they are certainly not a bad unit on the Voobly balance patch. So Skadi is in. Apparently you can see that Bubes, this army is gonna be like for the whole duration of the game at the enemy base, it seems like. He's having all the medium Murmilas in there with copper shields on top of everything. As at the back there's a bit of continued trading by HerroOP as well, as he has killed about like 1 or 2 villages. Are going to be some markets coming up already for the trade, and yeah, well, that's definitely the power of the Egyptians, especially on this map. Whereas in the front here, on the left side, Bubes is gonna be trying to control the front TC for Metal. So that might be something for him, but considering that he's a Zeus, he's definitely gonna be having the option how to get rid of this, and maybe even transport behind the enemy lines. You can see he's waiting there patiently with all the goats for some kind of extra vision if he needs to as well. Some kind of trading is already going on as well, but problem is that HerroOP is still at only 1 TC, gonna be getting the back one at least for the time being, and he's losing military buildings, and Nyan is not gonna be having enough against him, because so far Nyan went for an attack against Shelty. He's gonna be frozen with all his population limit. He's not gonna be having anything at all available for him, as in the meantime Bubes is having kind of a nice army, raiding all the players that he potentially can. For example, this could be quite juicy if he's gonna be able to get there without all that much of an opposition. Whereas on the right flank, there are gonna be quite a lot of units coming forward with Son of Osiris already in, and therefore the Nidhogg cannot exactly do anything all that much. He hasn't been even cast. He needs to be literally waiting after he's gonna be gone, or cast him somewhere on the left side to help his teammate. As Ceasefire is in, that's gonna be of course blocking the flaming weapons, and that's gonna be resulting in nothing all that nice. Is he gonna be blocking him completely? I was just going to say, if maybe he's gonna be completely blocking this army of the Ursaks. That Shelty seems to be just having a bit of fun, trying to do something with the ballista. But kind of this build-up is not bad, because it's gonna be allowing the ballista to be attacking the town center without any kind of hindrance. You can see the build-up, so it's gonna be having the same problem, because catapults are already on their way. So Gold Lion with the 4 TCs and all the extra population limit is probably not gonna be having all that hard time trying to push back. Okay, so some random villagers coming back still for the hunt apparently. Might be even joined by Nyan. Curiously enough. They seem to be just going somewhere else at this point. But otherwise Nyan going straight into the middle and into the gold miners. Apparently still missing the Ox card in here. So this might be actually quite a nice raid-in. Otherwise there's going to be another one continuing in the middle. And it seems to me that actually the gold line with Metal and Shelty don't really mind all that much. They probably think that this raid is not going to be anything all that significant, as the TC on the left side has been stolen in the meantime. And there is... no, well... Yeah, okay. Nice. Exactly, that was nicely played by Metal. I was just going to say that maybe Bubes could have been actually luring... yeah, should have been luring the Colossus away into the enemy base, because right now he's gonna be right now destroying him exactly the same as what potentially the opponent could be doing. So right now, he needs to be hoping it's gonna be convincing him to be attacking the enemy here on the unit and basically run into the enemy base. And try to lure him after you, so that he has to be fighting against all those centaurs and everything like that. Yeah, well, of course, in the middle, the vortex that was evident was going to happen from that, and it has completely destroyed the TC without any kind of protection whatsoever for Shelty. Not much of a surprise. Quite obviously, as in the middle, there's gonna be Nidhogg and bit of a raid-in yet again. As Shelty is gonna be losing the front TC, it doesn't seem like he's gonna be having any kind of army to basically support that. Whereas in the base, where we expected the push from Gold Lion and Shelty himself, nothing much is happening. Nothing much is happening at all, but only Gold Line is getting rid of basically kind of like the forward base from the enemy, as this is gonna be a time for a bit of an implosion and trying to suck up as much army as possible, but therefore, well, for example, Blue should be careful about it, not to lose all those dudes. In the meantime, at the back, there's gonna be some shockwave, and even more units are still fighting with apparently those Kerobalists. No, they don't have to be dying at all, especially considering that he's joined by Bubes, so many units so far, apparently already champion infantry, as Shelty is gonna be already resigning, as he has been reduced to pretty much ashes at this point. He has been pretty much deleted from the game with about a few citizens in there, and doesn't seem like that in the end Metal is gonna be having enough time to get going with the post-game and late-game Zeus machine with all the Colossi. As yeah, well, his teammate is already gone, and this rating is definitely not bad either. As quite nice dispersion pattern for all of those dwarfies. Maybe a few of them are gonna be dying, but it shouldn't be really mattering too much. But let's not call it yet. Son of Osiris is gonna be apparently dying sometime soon. Now, Goldline is thinking that he can be probably destroying Metal or the HerroOP, which doesn't seem to be all that impossible. The construction right now casts 7 into the middle, probably against Migdol exactly, to limit the production capabilities for them. But without Shelty, it's probably gonna be kinda hard, especially looking at all the army on the right flank that seems like will be destroying the TC in here, and that's gonna be putting Goldline at only 4 TCs, because actually they're not giving up. Even though Shelty did, Metal and Goldline will be trying to do the impossible. So right now he's basically even taken the TC in the middle from his opponent, or from his ally. You can see he's already taken this one. He's gonna be back to 5 in no time. And therefore HerroOP is gonna be having quite limited chances how to defend against all of it. As you can see, he's having only normal Usaks, not all that many upgrades, only bronze weapons for himself. Whereas the opponent is having normal cavalry, double bronze and copper. So he does have quite plenty of upgrades in there. Not really light, but at least the armory is already in there. Titan Gate for Bubes, apparently, that's definitely not a bad decision. For him being at 4 TCs and basically trying to finish with the opponent who is only at 2. That's making quite good sense, as apparently Metal is gonna be trying to secure the gold mine on the left side for himself for the time being, with a temple and maybe a few colossi closer to the enemy base. Doesn't have to be such a bad idea so far for him. All the way on the right flank, of course, the mercenaries are gonna be dying fairly quickly, as a few remaining units are going to be trying to destroy the trade, at least for a gold line at this point. So yeah, well, HerroOP is without the TC in the middle here. There's the base TC. The Son of Osiris seems like he has just right about now died. But there is also going to be destruction of the TC for gold line yet again from the back. And that is much more important than anything, because once those military buildings and establishments are going to be destroyed, then not much that actually gold line can be doing, even through the mighty push into the blue player's base. So it seems like the team to the bottom is going to be able to hold it, at least for the time being. But here again, Metal is going to be getting the third, and the Zeus can be still quite dangerous, especially since he's already going to be on the good level of upgrades with heavy myrmidons and all iron right about now. So he's post the Forge of Olympus already prepared with a few military units coming to the bottom. There's gonna be another vortex, as he seems to be basically fully ignoring what's happening in here, and this is definitely not a bad idea, not only because of the TC, but because there is a good chunk of economy in the middle. You can see not only the trade but plenty of farmers, and if we can be stopping that, then yeah, well, the economy for gold line is not gonna be strong enough to support even all those extra extra population limit that he's having. So let's check on 3. You can see his economy is not exactly there, so he's not going to be able to continue all that much and all that long. As HerroOP is probably going to be patient, and he might be able to survive long enough, as Goldline is going to be right now falling to even 2 TCs due to another push through the middle by Nyan. So very well done, as all the way to the top, yeah, there's going to be complete carnage, Goldline losing everything, and even more inside his base. But thing is, right now Metal, with the gold colossi already in, he is going to be well prepared right now to take a 4 TC, as he's taken the one in the middle, and therefore there still might be some kind of game left. Because even though right now Goldline is in a bit of a slump, it's exactly the opposite for Metal. He's gonna be completely, I'm expecting, eaten through Bubes. Doesn't seem like that Bubes should be able to really do all that much against this, especially if we are gonna be seeing the champion Myrmidon sometime soon. Draft horses in there for better speed of siege weapons, heavy infantry, query, engineers, granite blood for HerroOP. Only upgrades for the bottom team pretty much, as the top team gonna be having still probably quite plenty of TCs yet again, as Godline is not right now panicking. He is not panicking at all, and let's kind of check what's going to be happening still in the middle, because this TC is probably going to be saved for HerroOP. He has already built the one inside his base. He's going to be right now heading for this one, or maybe giving it to Nyan. Yeah, that's kind of alright. it's kind of alright. Right now, blue can be getting, for example, this one. It's gonna be still fine. As in the middle, gold line has lost yet another TC, gonna be down still to a reasonable number of 2, as he's rebuilding inside his bases as soon as possible. He's pretty much losing them. All the way to the top, nothing much really going on here in the base of yellow. Now, so far, yellow is completely owning this part of the map, as Underworld Passage is gonna be heading into some kind of defense. Where is he gonna be popping with yellow? Nope, into the attack. Into the attack altogether. And he's gonna be trying to right now basically steal this TC at the backside, which seems to be that it could be like legitimately working at this point. So he's gonna be depending on gold line if he can be still continuing with the fight. Problem is that he doesn't have military buildings. He has like literally nothing. I cannot really see any single building that he could be using. So right now he's probably just slinging into his eye, I would be expecting. Oh, he's having so many resources though, so I think it's a bit of a shame that he doesn't have anything more. But 9 is finishing with a TC in here. There's gonna be TC for HerroOP all the way to the top. But well, to the bottom, there's gonna be TC lost for 9. And let's gonna see if there's gonna be an opportunity for him to take it, as apparently there was a chaos cast. You can see plenty of Myrmidons being in the brown color. So the TC is gone, and that's a ton of villages. They're gonna have to pay a lot more attention to all of this. But those two giants with the granite blood in them, he should be strong enough to basically make this disappear. As Wubes is already going with the Titan, and I don't think they have a kind of good power. No, they don't. They don't. There's gonna be only one extra chaos left. As right about now, this is probably gonna be too challenging right about now for Metal to finish. As otherwise in the middle, he hasn't been able to actually claim this TC. I'm slightly thinking that he actually tried to be a bit too cute, Metal. I'm thinking he could have basically just invested a lot more into the push through the middle. And basically taking this TC. And then maybe just basically completely deny Bubes. And maybe even... I was kind of thinking initially that the Underworld Passage is going to be defensive. That he's going to be trying to help Gold Lion and basically stabilize him. I think that he could have done that. He was already well upgraded and he was having good army for all of it. So I think that was a bit of an opportunity miss, as this attack is going to be inevitably failing. You can see the Underworld Passage is already gone. And, well, it's just going to be resulting into push from the other side, from NyanRacingCat into yellow, as yellow is probably going to be losing TC in the middle. Yes, he already did a bit before. As on the left, you have well, some Fanatics. Champion Fanatics already, even though they are only double copper and bronze, they are probably going to be having good enough numbers altogether. As, okay, the Titan doesn't have to be standing all that much. Okay, let's have a look. No, they could be actually destroying this, because I don't think there's gonna be enough army altogether. As Goldline has right now built extra settlements, Metal has lost a settlement himself though. The one into the middle by Wubes, so that's quite important. As well, Goldline is right now at 3, so he still could be having some kind of game. If he's gonna be able to recuperate quickly enough, finally going for the big roll. And he's having plenty of resources still. He's having a lot of wood that he can be selling, and then buying other resources, well, like obviously the food. Zero is at good echo. Very good echo, he just basically needs DCs. That's literally the only thing that he needs. Problem is that HerroOP is already establishing himself in the middle of the trade route, and once that is gonna be finished and the trade is gonna be dried, then, well, the game is pretty much done, because we are at about 26 minutes and the gold mines are pretty much right now gone, especially all those safe funds. It doesn't seem all that optimistical. The optimistic right about now for Metallo and Gold Lion. As Metallo, well, he did destroy the Titan Gate in there, as we have seen, as we have expected. It's gonna be costing a few Colossi, but it's alright, they did their job. As in the meantime, Metallo actually survived with a few villages. They're gonna be having some kind of base at the back, plenty of military academies obviously for raiding with everything, whereas on the right flank we are gonna be seeing still apparently Gold Lion going yet again into the trade, but this is probably gonna be, could be the game winning move by HerroOP finally, because without the trade, yeah, the game is gonna be crumbling for both of them fairly quickly. In the middle, it seems like that NyanRacingCat is doing quite a good job of preventing Metal from getting the extra population limit. Because right about now, there's pretty much everything that is keeping Metal from being more dangerous in the game. As he's trying to finish with this one, but that doesn't seem to be realistic either. As the extra population limit that is against him all across the map and all across the place is just a bit too much for him to handle. And he needs to be hoping that the opponents make a mistake, but it doesn't seem like that they would be inclined exactly towards that course of action. Alright, so this palace is probably going to be destroyed fairly easily, as unfortunately it's receiving plenty of extra damage during its transport. Is he going to be this one guy? Oh yeah, he was. It was this one guy, actually. He was dealing quite decent damage, but like 30-40 damage per hit. So very nicely done. As in the meantime, in the front, there's gonna be even actually simultaneous push by HerroOP, as he's right now finally getting 4 TCs. Also taking a few more all across the game. He has basically taken the one at the back from NyanRacingCat. This was 9s a bit before, but they kind of decided this is gonna be better this way, and definitely agree with this. As those giants with the ballista coming through the middle, they are gonna be able to control this TC, and also the chariot archers that are not really, well, they are upgraded at least onto double bronze and copper, so it's something. Considering the opponent is gonna be having only bronze weapons and copper shields in there, well, metal really not giving up at all, and that extra population limit actually might not be all that bad. That's gonna be 4 population limit, that's only 1 unit. Still, who knows, that 1 unit could be helpful. The winners are of course 3 population limit, but at this point it seems like they don't see the way, as they cannot secure the TCs just there, and therefore they are finally giving up, and this back build stopping the trade, that's exactly what is needed in here, and what Doctor ordered. Well done, quite a nice game in the end. Quite a nice game. As Metal is going to be finally getting some good game for after a bit of wait for starting a proper one. So thank you very much for playing, and you're gonna be continuing with the next one hopefully. Let's resume into the lobby so they can be potentially starting if they want to, and let's check through this. Well, Bubas, he definitely was the most influential matreiuss. It was basically the whole game was made by his raiding onto the enemy economy. He basically raided all 3 of them, Goldline, Shelty, and Metallo. He has killed so many villages, and just basically being annoying there is a bit of a strain on the psyche of the players altogether. And right there, so very well played. That was the outstanding performance. But Goldline on the right flank was definitely playing nicely as well. And it really looked very good between him and Shelty. It looked like they could be really destroying HerroOP, but all that raiding, I'm thinking that the raiding basically broke their neck. Raiding from Bubas really was quite influential. Because otherwise they looked set for victory. Shelty and Goldline, they definitely were on the right flank. Doesn't seem like that 9 with HerroOP should be able to defend. But once you have problems with your echo, suddenly out of nowhere, then your plans start to crumble. You can see Metal in the end, good echo. Unfortunately, the population limit was just missing. And so he could not unleash the power that was hiding in his hands. And that start by 9 was also nice with reconstruction of the temple, preventing the HerroOP from coming up. Therefore, being dangerous on the even new temple with the Prometheans and whatever like that. That was a good clutch play by Shelty in there, together with the bolt from Metallo. That was quite minute and could have been all kinds of problems. Switch host into Shelty. For example. You can see HerroOP is such a hard game for him. He was having for majority of it like 40 villages. Only at the end, when it was kind of starting to look up for him, he was able to get up there. And the more he did, the more dangerous he was. And the problem for the game actually was Goldline was having still good economy even when he started losing TCs. But he wasn't prepared with secondary military buildings. He basically had everything right next to the front TC. And once he lost that, he was basically completely out. Even though he was having thousands of resources. Just couldn't do anything at that point. Yeah, well, the importance of not relying on too few military buildings, and that can quite often be a problem for Egyptians, especially as far as Migdos. They can be falling into traps sometimes. Okay, GG.